What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the MMA Mainstream Podcast. I'm James, joined with his co-host, Kaelyn. Kaelyn, how you doing?
Good. It's Friday, finally, again.
Right? Fridays are great, not only because it's the end of the week for actual work, but then we get to do a podcast. And we like talking about fighting and people punch each other in the face. I love it.
Yep, and they're doing that tomorrow.
And they are doing that tomorrow. As a matter of fact, they are going to have UFC, I want to say it was 273. Sometimes I lose count.
I forget the numbers, but yeah.
273. Volkanovsky versus the Korean Zombie.
Yeah.
I am quite excited about this one. Not for Volkanovsky, but for Aljamain Sterling versus Petr Yan. That's why I'm excited.
Yeah.
Man, have you seen anything about weigh-ins?
I've seen a little bit of highlights. I tend to watch the weigh-ins less and less nowadays. I did want to catch this one.
Just as long as they weigh in and they're good.
Yeah, I was just so busy at work I couldn't catch it, but I've been watching it less and less anyways. It's just a little too cringy nowadays. It kind of, I don't know, it bothers me. It's just whatever. And then Aljamain Sterling in particular has been extra cringy. I mean, he bothers me in the first place, but he's being extra annoying, so I just I don't get it.
I agree. All right, so I guess we'll go just through the main four fights on the card. The last fight I really could care less about, just to be honest. So we'll start with the women's strawweight bout. We have Mckenzie Dern and Tecia Torres. Yeah, I hope I got that right.
Yeah, Tecia Torres.
Thank you, Tecia Torres. 11-2 versus 13-5. Dern is coming off of a loss, while Torres is coming off of a win. It says strawweight, but it's like, is this current weight? Is that weigh-in weight? Like, come on, folks.
I don't know if it's a strawweight. I thought both girls were 125, actually, to be honest. It could be a strawweight if they switched it. I don't know. I know Tecia Torres was a strawweight, but I thought she went up, and I didn't think Mckenzie Dern was a strawweight. She was a little heavier, but it's possible they could have cut all that weight. I don't know. I thought it was
very true.
I could be wrong. But anyways, I'm going for Mckenzie Dern. I
am too.
I kind of go for her now. I'm a fan of hers now. At first, I wasn't. When she first came to UFC, I think her first fight, she was like overweight by, over 5 pounds. And I was like, what the hell? This girl's unprofessional. She's huge and sloppy. But then she cleaned up. She actually ended up having a kid. But when she came back, she looked better than ever. She's in great shape. Now, definitely has my respect, even though everybody likes her already because in the jiu-jitsu world, everybody loves her. But when she came to UFC, I was a little disappointed in her, debut that way. But I'm a fan of hers now. And Tecia Torres, I do love her also. But I'm going for Mckenzie Dern.
I'm picking Dern just overall. Yet if it goes to her, though, that's for sure. If it goes to decision, I understand, because with an 85% win by rate, she will go the distance. She is known to go the distance.
Yeah.
So it is what it is if she wins, but I also am picking Dern on that one. We have a comment, so let's show it real quick. Let me be your guest sometime. Braxton, hit me up, man. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. We appreciate guests. We like guests. So you contact me, and we'll get something figured out, my man. All right, let's go ahead and continue up the card. Gilbert Burns versus I'm not even going to try. Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah.
Chimaev.
This one's going to be crazy.
There's been some intense rivalry with these guys that I've been.
I think everyone's a rival of Chimaev, though. He kind of makes it that way.
It's true. He does. He seems to alienate himself to have everybody dislike him.
That's fine. He's undefeated.
Yeah.
Gilbert
Especially
Burns.
With Burns, who's 20-4, so he has way more fights.
Yeah.
Than
he's been fighting for a while, and he's been fighting, you know, all the top guys for a while also. So he's good. I'm a little, I don't know. I was going to say I'm surprised about the matchup, but considering that Khamzat is so good so far and undefeated, I think should be a good fight. I don't know. I've kind of lost hope in Gilbert Burns in the last couple fights.
With his past few fights.
But it's not like he's not fighting nobodies. I think he had a title fight, to be honest. So it was, you know, he's not any chump, that's for sure. But I'm on the hype train for Chimaev because, well, I think everybody is. But I'm really excited to see what he can do and see if he can still be undefeated after this. And if he is, that'd be even more exciting because who knows what's next after Gilbert Burns, you know?
I am also picking Chimaev because, like, let's just be real. He doesn't go to decision. So he finishes the fight no matter what. I appreciate that. And I look forward to this because, I mean, it's on the main card, but it's not like the main event yet. This could be a main event. If this was a fight night, this would be on a fight night, and that would be easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then let's see, we got another comment. I want to win. However, I think Burns takes it by choke. You know what? That would be interesting to see, but
it is likely, but I
want to see the fight finished.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to take Boers, as his nickname says.
Yeah, you know it's crazy.
But especially
is ranked number 2. You know.
Yeah, that's why it's crazy. It's not crazy to see someone ranked fight someone ranked, but so high up. Usually they're closer in rank. So this will be a big test for him, and especially to remain undefeated.
Yeah. I
look forward to that. And then we'll just jump ahead. Piotr Jan, the end.
The end.
That's all. That's it. That's all I'm taking.
Oh, man.
I want to see this fight. I'm excited for this fight, but with the way Sterling has been acting, like, dude, no.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I think I'm pretty sure he's doing it on purpose because I think he knows people don't like him for what he did, or he's that delusional that he thinks he is the champion. It's so crazy the way he acted after the fight and the way, you know, man, I don't know. A lot of guys that win a fight that way by default, they don't take the belt. They're like, I don't want the belt. I didn't win it. You know, he was all over taking that belt, walking around.
He was just like, I'm disoriented, but I'll take it.
Decided to have surgery and keep holding on to it. So I can't wait for Piotr Jan to do what he was already doing in that fight, just minus the illegal knee.
Yeah, dude. I hope he studied the rules. At the rules meeting, he better been sitting there like.
You know what's funny is so Aljo was holding up that book, MMA for Dummies, and I'm like, oh, maybe he should read it. I don't know, you know.
Well, I mean, certain states have different, rules, but like still, they're pretty overall the same. They're pretty universal.
No, I think it was just taking a jab at that he threw an illegal shot.
Oh yeah,
and
of course.
But also, I think Aljo might want to read that as well. Maybe there's a section on there on how to be. I don't know what the word is. I don't know. Definitely don't take the belt on default. I don't even know why they do that. No. I don't know. I think the belt should be vacated.
He should have just been like, "There you go."
I think the belt.
And once he was better, rematched.
Yeah, I think the belt should be vacated, and I think Piotr Jan should get the chance to either rematch him right away, or just fight somebody else to get the belt back, and that other person has the chance to win that belt and take it from him, his chance to get it back. But, I don't know what else you do. You don't just give it to the loser. I mean,
no.
Sucks that he got kneed. It sucks that he got kneed illegally.
It sucks you got kneed in the face, but here you go. That's also Braxton commented again. Said Jan dominated last time, and you were absolutely right. Sterling was delusional.
Yeah, okay. I'm not the only one. I read the comments, and I'm like, okay, I'm not delusional. Like everyone else sees what I see.
Yeah, so. Everyone sees it. I saw a few of my MMA cohorts picking Sterling to win. I want to see like, okay, I want Piotr to win. I want Jan to win, absolutely, hands down. But I'm curious to see what Aljamain can pull out of his hat. Like
all of a sudden,
he makes it sound like he has this idea that he's gonna kill it. Yeah,
also,
he didn't have last time.
Photos that he's been taking, I'm like, okay, someone's been on something because he didn't look like that before, and I don't think coming off of surgery you're gonna look like that either. I'm not, whatever. I'm sure they test him, but
they're supposed to.
Oh, I used to like Aljamain Sterling so much too, and now I'm like, garbage.
Things have certainly changed.
Can you imagine if Sterling does win? Can you imagine that? What would happen? What happens next?
It shut me up for right now, but then 2 days later, I'll be talking again, and it'd be just hating.
I'd be impressed if Sterling does win, but he was nowhere close to winning that first one. Before.
No. So we'll see what game plan he has in mind this time.
Yeah.
But I feel like for Jan, he's just going to go out there and go, all right, I need to just finish this fight.
I hope he just does what he did before, honestly, because it worked, and he's
same.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm so excited. I might even buy this one.
My buddy is, so I'm watching. Sorry, Dana White, you ain't getting my money. You get my buddy's money.
Oh, okay,
but, okay. It is what it is. Tom Owens is watching. Yo, what's up, Tom? I hope all is well, my friend. I'll see you soon. All right. Now we're going to go to the main event of this card. Volkanovsky versus the Korean Zombie.
What do you think about this one?
Chan Sung Jung. I feel like finally the Korean Zombie's getting a real opportunity because he's had so many. It's not like he's had missteps. He's just
he had a delay.
Things.
Like that was a delay.
Perfect example, delays.
Right.
And so I'm glad this is going on. But Volkanovsky ain't no joke. Like that dude, he comes hard.
Yeah, I think Volkanovsky should be able to win this fight. I think not easily because no fight's easy, but I don't think he'll have too much of a time. But I'm actually going for the Korean Zombie. I would really, really love to see him win the belt. So I'm going for him.
I think that'd be cool. I like Volkanovsky. I'm going to choose Volkanovsky. But if the Korean Zombie won, I ain't mad at that. That dude is one of the dopest fight shirts of all time.
It'd be a big change, and then good for him. I've always been rooting for him, and I'm kind of glad he's in the spot right now. I hope he wins it. Although Alexander's probably just going to come back and take it back, but I think I'm actually going for the Korean Zombie. I'm a huge fan of his.
All right, and we also have Braxton, who's taking the Korean Zombie. #veteran. Very true. That dude's been a vet of a lot of UFC fights. That's why it's exciting that he's getting this opportunity. Yeah, he's been around for a long time.
So, yeah, unfortunately, Alexander has the belt, and he's a tough guy. But we'll see.
If Korean Zombie wins, I'm mad at that. But I do think Volkanovsky does take this fight.
I hope Korean Zombie's ready. I hope he is.
All right. I do want to actually look at one of the prelim fights because Mickey Gall is still in the UFC. I didn't know that. And same with Raquel Pennington.
Aspen Ladd. This will be a good fight too.
It should be. Pennington is a major vet, but
wait, hold on. Raquel Pennington, isn't she married to Tisha Torres? I think they're together. I think that's
probably are.
They're on the same fight card. That's kind of cool.
That is pretty neat. Good for them, but I'll be real, like
fight card before because usually they're in each other's corner. So that's kind of cool.
It's still possible for that because she's on the prelim and she's on the main card, so that could still happen.
She'll probably still be in her corner. Raquel will probably be in her corner, or both. Who knows? Aspen Ladd, I thought she was okay at first. Her record's good. She doesn't handle losses very well. I remember she fought Jermaine Durandamy, which I mean, I don't know if she's even ready for that fight. That's tough for anybody, but she didn't take the loss very well. I kind of lost respect for her, but I don't know. She's coming off of another loss. I think she lost again after that. She's coming off of another loss, but she is ranked number 4. Raquel Pennington is a very, very tough. I expect her to win. I believe she will. But I'm going for her, so I'm going for Raquel.
Same, agreed. It's just I'm curious to see how Ladd comes off of a loss because she is only 9-2.
She's good.
With her last fight being a loss.
Good. against Raquel. She's kind of a bulldog, so we'll see.
True. But with that knockout record, the wins by 67%.
She's good.
She ain't no slouch.
No.
So that would be very interesting to see. And that was just a look at who we basically want to see fight this weekend and who we pick. And now we're going to move on. Dana White condemns Jorge Masvidal's alleged attack, but says Colby Covington violated the effing man code.
He did. He totally did.
Agreed. Agreed.
As a fighter, you're going to call the cops? What are they going to do?
Right? That's what we've had this conversation already that if they're fighters and they're going to fight against each other in the street, just let them go.
Let them go, but also
I'm all for law enforcement. I don't want to see him get beat up trying to stop this.
Yeah. Also, it's like obviously calling the cops was a move to create inconvenience in Masvidal's life, clearly, because you did violate. Like, it's so pathetic. Like, Dana White is right because man code or whatever you want to call it. It's a
machismo thing.
For people that fight in a cage, that's how they settle their differences.
That's it.
You're not in the cage. Hold on, let me call the cops. The guy hit me really hard. I'm gonna call the cops.
Right. And here's the thing: if you know Masvidal's history, he fought in backyards. This dude will fight you anywhere.
Masvidal's not some super professional guy. He literally fought in backyards.
I bet you if you challenged him, he'd fight you at a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
I mean, since we live here in Central California, he'd fight you at Fashion Fair, even though all kinds of crazy stuff has gone down there.
Usually you get shot over there or stabbed.
That's true, but this is Masvidal. His weapons are in his hands.
Yeah. But for Colby Covington to do, that is such a Colby thing to do. I wasn't surprised. It's so pathetic, though.
Yeah, and I mean, it sucks that it happened outside of a cage and not during a media event where they could push a fight, even though a fight already had happened.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Covington, I think a lot of people are like on Colby Covington right now because of that. But Masvidal's got to deal with the legal repercussions of what he did.
I was irritated with Colby long before this, so.
That's true. That's very true.
But it's such a Masvidal thing to do for what he did.
There was one thing about the UFC 273 card I did want to mention also that I saw, that Tybura is off due to illness, and Rosenstruck, the bout with him, is scrapped.
That would have been a good fight.
Right?
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to really glance at this, but I thought they had weighed in. It says, due to illness, Tybura has been removed from his heavyweight bout with Rosenstruck. But like when you see it, it looks like he's weighing in at the weigh-ins. He looks fine.
Maybe he lost bad weight cut or something. Which I don't know how much weight he actually loses, though. I don't know.
But class act of Rosenstruck, he posted a video. He posted a video wishing him well. So that's class act right there. Good for him.
Yeah, if he stepped on the scale, that might be an old picture of him on a scale. But if he did weigh in, I'm sure it has to do with the weight cut or something.
No, it says Volkanovsky Korean Zombie in the background.
Oh,
April 9th, Saturday.
Yeah, you're right. So he weighed in. He probably felt sick and not going to fight then.
Probably. Well, I hope he feels better because, I mean, those heavyweights, man, when they go at it, when they bang, whew. So
yeah, I bet he got taken to the hospital, and the hospital's like, "You're not going to fight."
Yeah, maybe it was a bad weight cut.
Yeah, normally, yeah.
Because some of the fighters that have to cut weight, I mean, heavyweights have such a big number. They just can't be over 255, I believe, is still the number. Also, and so just to get within there.
if you are cutting weight, regardless, your body's more susceptible to getting any kind of sickness. Your body's beaten down, you know? So it's I'm surprised more fighters don't get sick from cutting weight. Not just the actual fluids, but actually catching something while you're cutting weight.
Yeah, very true. Very true. All right. I didn't really have a chance to really look up a lot of stuff for us today because I thought we were going to have an interview, but we're still – I'm always efforting an interview, and right now that is not looking like it's going to happen. But we know what? There's always something to talk about.
That threat with Aljo and Peter Yan going back and forth about if we see you, it's we're not. Well, Peter Yan said, "I'm not waiting to get in the octagon. I'll beat you right then and there," type of thing. And Aljamain's team kind of made a comment starting the whole argument, and I'm like,
I did hear about it, but I'm also like, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all are gonna fight when the fight happens. If y'all fight outside of that, it is what it is. But we all want the fight to happen. Don't screw it up. Let the fight happen. Yeah. Because a lot of us who saw the first fight have been wanting this for quite some time. So it needs to take place. I
wonder if Aljamain was trying to get a reaction to Peter Yan, but maybe he was hoping there would be a fight and that his fight would get canceled so he can keep the belt longer.
I hope not. How many defenses do you have? Not a lot. Yeah. Not very many. None.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
That guy's pathetic. Oh, the more I look at him, the more I'm like, ugh.
It's okay. It happens. But you know what? That's why Piotr Yan's going to win. And so go Yan. Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. We do have a guest. Daniel Hodges is joining us. What's going on, Daniel? How you doing, man?
What's going on? I got in, man.
Hey, have you turn? There we go. I can't hear you now. We're gonna have you. Let me turn the camera. All the fun of doing a live podcast, everybody. There we go. All right. Now, can you hear us?
No.
Uh-oh. Froze out on us. All right. Well, we'll try to effort him back. But that's Daniel. He's going to join us to talk about the Point Muay Thai. Him and his brother handle that down. I've met them at Bakersfield, and they're going to be having an event soon down in Bakersfield. And so I look forward to that because, man, you see some of those people. Let me check. And that would have been bad if that cap was off that water. Let's see. Let's effort him one more time. Daniel, can you hear us? Daniel. I could faintly hear you. All right. He's trying to work on that. Hey, man, don't text and drive. I mean, don't video chat and drive. It's dangerous, bro.
Oh, he's got busy.
That's super dangerous. We don't want to see nothing bad happen. All right. Let's see. Oh, perfect. We got you now. How's it going, Daniel?
I don't know. It's like I can't hear anything on here. You want me to do it one more time?
You can't hear?
I'll try to log in one more time.
All right, try one more time. We will keep working on that. And we got Braxton again watching the show live. Shout out for Bakersfield. Hey, man, we're friends of Bakersfield. I've spent more time in Bakersfield than I actually really wanted to. I won't lie. But, hey, I get to see fights over there. So
a pretty cool brewery out there that I like, that I've been there a couple times. So
what's it called?
That's cool. Tembler, I think. Tembler Brewery.
You're not all about going to like 805 and to Morro Bay and Pismo for all those breweries?
I don't care for Pismo, Morro Bay, sure. But no, I went to a comedy show out there. They have a lot of shows. I think they have some concerts out there too sometimes. Saw Andrew Santino. I don't know if you know who that is. He's a comedian.
I do. He has the Best Friends podcast with
Bad Friends.
Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee.
Bad Friends. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was Best Friends. Bad Friends. You're right.
That show was hilarious.
And he's Boys with Lil Dicky because he's on his show.
Yeah.
So I kind of know of him. I'm not super old to where I'm just out of touch.
Super old.
Not yet. I'm getting there. Oh no, I'm getting old. I need to go get my wheelchair right now. Actually,
Bobby Lee is funny too. I saw him in San Jose at the San Jose Improv. He is crazy. That was interesting.
Well, Bobby Lee's a nut, but Bobby Lee
Saw a
is
lot of
hilarious.
him. Saw too much of him. He literally had no clothes on. So,
It sounds like Bert Chrysler. Actually, it's Bert Kreischer. I just like saying his name wrong because it makes me laugh.
Oh, that's what Tom Segura calls him.
Yeah,
he called him that.
Bert
one
Krishna.
of the specials too.
I love it. The dynamic between Tom and Bert is how I am with my friends, so I completely get it and understand.
Two Bears One Cave is a good podcast too. I
listen to it weekly.
Really long time.
I listen to it religiously every week.
Yeah, I used to too. It was funny.
The event, the Muay Thai event, is on, I believe, April 23rd. I'm checking again. Are there any updates with Glory?
Well, as far as like from what happened last time, they did say that there is going to be another pay-per-view event, and the people that bought the pass.
Did they hold that or not yet?
Huh?
Have they held that yet or not yet?
No, I don't even think they have a fight card yet for it. But
it's corrected. It's May 21st is the next Point Muay Thai.
Is that a Saturday?
I believe so. Let's go ahead and try to get Daniel on one more time. Daniel, you good?
Yeah, it's like a robot.
We can faintly hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know why it sounds so hollow on his end. No, you're not loud enough, man. We could barely hear you.
Oh, really?
All right.
All right,
Now say something. Perfect. We got you. We are good. We are golden.
I think.
All right, nice.
And Braxton is actually correcting me and says it's May 20th. Oh, that's the day before are the MMA fights. So the day after is the Point Muay Thai. Daniel, tell us more about Point Muay Thai and what it's all about for people who don't know.
Okay, so Point Muay Thai is it's pretty much like you're sparring, it's just like for technique development, just to get them used to being in a ring scenario, get the jitters out, breathe, use their defense, learn the fundamentals, how to block, how to stay inside, and just pretty much just flow without just seeing red, and not just losing it, so that's pretty much what we try to teach everybody, just just to remain calm, use what your coaches have taught you, and just practice what they're learning, so that way, when they do go to full contact, they're ready to go, they kind of got that out of the way, and so it's a good stepping stone for them, so a little less intimidating, kind of like that, so.
Now, how often do guys that are competing fight in multiple bouts? Does it happen consistently? Because I've seen some where they just come in, they fight. It seems like they fight once, maybe twice, and then they're done. Have you had guys literally fight all day?
Yeah, I mean, if they're experienced, they've been to a few Point Muay Thais, and they know what's up, they know how to relax, then we'll let them go multiple bouts, to get them more experience, because that's what it's about, is to gain experience, because the more you're going to gain experience, the more comfortable you're going to be, you're going to be able to practice what you've been taught, without just going in autopilot, so the more experience they get, the better, but it's kind of a safety hazard, to have people who are kind of new. That's why we also have a 2-round kind of rule also, if they're really experienced, they're going neck and neck, they will let them go like a third round, you know, because in the past, like that's when people would get hurt, is in the third round. They're getting tired. They're not defending as well. You know, their hands aren't coming up as well. So that's why, like, we have some things just for safety, you know, like to make sure like the fighters are good. But if we know they're good and they're not a liability, you know, like they're going to be able to flow good, then we'll be like, okay, yeah, you could go again. You could fight multiple bouts. We trust you. We know you're not going to do nothing crazy, you know? So that's kind of like when they could fight multiple times, you know?
So if you're more familiar with a certain fighter that you've seen before, like you could, you know, let them keep fighting and stuff, because you know that they won't do anything crazy or anything against the rules.
Yeah, exactly. So we get relationships, you know, them like, all right, this guy knows what's up, you know, he stays calm, he's gonna flow. The coaches talk about it, you know, like, okay, yeah, oh, this guy's chill, you know, he's not gonna go crazy, you know. Or sometimes I would like say there's like an experienced fighter, and then there's someone who's kind of green who doesn't have a match, then we'll be like, hey, go just spar with this guy. He's a little more experienced, but you know, it's gonna be good for you to just spar with him. You know, it'll be an exhibition match. It's not gonna count, you know, on the ranking or anything. So just go ahead and flow. I think that's a good thing for them. You know, they could go with someone a lot more experienced and see, like, learn from them. You know, as opposed to someone who else is just green. They're just gonna be sock and balking. You know?
Yeah, I guess it's a little more dangerous when both of them have never done it before.
Yeah. Like back and forth, you know. So.
Now, one thing that has surprised me, like, and it's actually one of my favorites, is watching the kids compete. Okay. The kids fighting, oh my God, honestly, is one of my favorite things to watch, because they leave it all in there. They are just like, okay, fight. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Dude, what has been the one thing? Like, what has been the one thing that you've enjoyed seeing during your time doing, helping promote this and whatnot? I hope we didn't lose him again.
I don't know. Sounds like it.
Sad face.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel, you still with us, man? I think he's probably out of a zone where he has reception.
Well, it's a little complicated here.
Get some more bars. Get some more bars.
There we go. Yay! Yeah. Good. Not a dead spot. All right. So I was saying earlier that the kids are one of the most exciting things I've seen. What are some of the like crazier things or more exciting things that you've seen since you've been involved in this?
I think the kids are definitely like amazing. It's crazy, like these kids, like how skilled they are. Like their technique is like almost like flawless at sometimes. You know, it's like how good they're taught by their coaches. You know, like I think maybe like the girl bouts are very impressive. Like sometimes the girls are better at Muay Thai. They're more flexible. They could go better. You know, or like some of the guys are a little stiff. You know, a little too muscular. You know, so it's just seeing like the martial art kind of show itself in like these people's like pretty. That's like what's impressive. You know, like when you're running these fights like all day long. Like you see like 100 almost 100 fights a day. You know, but then you're like sitting down like watching like, oh, dude, like even you're like stoked on it. Like damn, like it just blows you away sometimes. Like watching them.
Now, I'm curious. Yeah, I hear you. We hear you good. I'm curious because I've never seen any really like big heavyweights compete. Have you guys ever had like super heavies? What's the biggest weight class you guys have had compete?
I mean, we have really big guys, man. There's this one Hawaiian dude. He was like 300 or like 370 maybe. But he was like pretty solid. Like watching that guy compete was like pretty crazy. Like
oh my god!
Where can I see this guy compete? I would like to watch that fight.
You know, so Yeah, it was crazy. I think he moved to back to Hawaii. He was with Steven Child's boy in Omni. He was crazy to watch. I was like, yeah, they have some big boys in there, man. Seeing them move around, and they're like in shape too. It's crazy. The mats be moving. Like if the mats aren't taped down, then the whole mat would be moving. When these guys are jumping around, and you're refereeing in there, like, whoa, this whole thing's moving. What the heck? It's big boys, man, moving around.
Now, have there been any fighters that kind of surprised you? Like you didn't know what to expect, and they came out and you were like, all right, they look like they could go compete professionally tomorrow.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, a lot of the guys that come out, like, you know, that came to like maybe 5 or more PMT events. They probably got like almost like 10 PMT fights. Like their Muay Thai's like pretty unlocked, you know, like they could definitely go like, you know, into AMI or even pro. Like definitely there's more pro opportunity. Like there's becoming more pro opportunities. So the sport grew a lot, you know, so there should be a decent crowd, you know, like to come out and start getting some pro shows. So, I mean, we got the talent now. Like this thing, we see athletes. Like I'm going to SAC right now. There's like 170 athletes there for
wow.
And like it does a ranking structure, and some of these guys they're like getting up to like 8 PMT fights. You know, like so they're like they need to go amateur. You know, they need to go amateur. They need to go pro. And seeing these guys like that win belts and they go to AMI, like they'll win belts also, you know, like pretty quickly, you know. So it's like it feels good, you know, seeing them do good. Like they come out of our thing, then they go into amateur, and they're really successful, you know. So that like makes you feel really good. Like you help them, help them get there, you know.
So how often do you put on these Point Muay Thai tournaments?
How often?
Yeah. Like how busy is the schedule?
I'd say like 2 times a month.
Oh, okay.
You know? Is that how you said? How often? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably like, you know, 2 times a month between like NorCal and SoCal. We try to give like 2 weeks between like shows. Like there's a promoter in this area, you know, we'll give them like 2 or 3 weeks before another show there, you know. But
so do you guys have like
now, just like pretty awesome.
Oh wow, do you guys have like an overwhelming amount of people or fight teams wanting to come in and compete, or is it more of a struggle to get these shows put on, or how does that process work?
Like how we do it now is like we have kind of promoters we work with in different areas, and they'll kind of like book us on the show. Then we'll work with them. We'll get a registration link, you know, so it's pretty much anyone online could like go and search it and register. They put their coaches' numbers in there, they put their team, and then the promoter of that area, they'll get posters, they'll promote it, you know, because then their show does better, it's better for them also, you know. So that's kind of like
have you ever
how
had
the structure kind of works, you know.
Have you ever had too many people sign up for one show?
Probably like, it's funny because like probably the most like trigger alert, you know, probably the most people ever signed up was like during like COVID, you know, like when we went to Reno, we went to California, shut us down, you know, so we're like, okay, we went to Reno, and we had like 320 people come out there, like all the way to Reno. That was like the most like people ever came, you know. I was like, wow, like, so obviously they wanted to do it, so
yeah.
Why would you even hold an event like that? Damn.
That's huge.
Yeah, I think we did like a 2-day. That was like a 2-day.
Oh wow.
We did like, because we got so many registered, you know, so we're like, okay, let's do like adults on Saturday and then kids on Sunday. That's how we did it. And we some of these things we just wing it, you know. We like go out there, we make it work, you know. We work with the promoters, and it's like it's pretty grassroots, you know. It's like a grassroots level type of thing, and like that's kind of what's cool about it, you know.
Do you guys struggle?
Any coaches can talk or anything, you know.
Do you guys struggle with fighters getting out of control?
I mean, that's always the struggle. You know, it's like keeping them calm. You know, like we always, like the referee, like in the ring has like a hard job. You know, like he has to communicate with the fighters, like tell them to like, hey, put your hands up. You know, like we got to kind of like coach them a little bit too. You know, like along with the coaches. You know, just like to help keep them safe, or you know, like relax. Like sometimes I have to like shake a dude, like, hey, like, yo, dude, like relax a little bit, bro. Like breathe, relax. Like make them look at you, you know, because they're just looking at the opponent. They're so into it, you know. They get in the zone, you know. So it's kind of like you got to like kind of like shock them out of it a little bit and like look at you, like, hey, bro, chill out, breathe. We're gonna have to stop the fight if you keep going crazy. Like just chill out, bro. And then after you give them 2 warnings, you know, like they know, you know, you communicated with them, you know. So like if you're like, okay, now it's over, bro, like sorry, then it's like you gave them 2 warnings, you know. So that's kind of how it is.
Have you guys ever had to ban anyone from these tournaments for getting out of control and not listening to you?
We never had to like really ban anybody, but we've had to do a lot of DQs. I think like we had one scenario where somebody was trying to like film themselves getting a knockout at one of our shows, you know. So like we had to like step in with that and like be like, hey, like that's unacceptable, you know, like no like trying to get views or trying to get videos, you know, thing like that. Like we had some dude, like this is kind of like unrelated to the PMT, but like he just walked on the mat as a prank video. So like we were like fighting. That's and everything, annoying. And, like he just walked on the mat as a prank video, trying to like fight with the fighters, like weightlifting stuff, like thing. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much like the crazy thing, you know. But as banning anybody, that's the only thing like we had to like step in. But luckily, no repeat offenders. Like they learn, you know, like they get DQ'd and they'll come back and they'll be like, hey, like I know why I got DQ'd. I'm sorry. You know, I'll do better next time. You know, they'll always be heated in the beginning. You know, like screw this shit. But they always calm down. You know, and come around like, hey, you know, you just got to stay calm. You can't go crazy with them. Well, no, you get out of here. You know, like you got to like kind of absorb their frustrations and kind of like relax, bro. You know, sorry, it's over. You know, like on to the next one. You know. So.
Do you maybe have a favorite place that you like to do shows at?
I mean, I was liking the Reno thing. That was fun going there. It is a bit of a drive, but as far as like a favorite place, like I'm really used to just going around everywhere, you know. So I travel a lot, like to a lot of different spots. I can say we just did a show in Madeira the other weekend, and they had like a really cool gymnasium. Like the spectators were up top, and it was like a boiler room, kind of stadium style. Like all the coaches and the fighters were in the bottom, and all the spectators were up top. It was like, I don't know, it's like a boiler room or so. It was like pretty cool, like a good like stadium. It was like built in the 40s or something. I don't know. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Convention centers. I like the expos are really nice. If you guys ever get a chance to go to one of those, they're like we'll do like a Point Muay in expo. Like we do like the Fit Expo, the Legion Sports Fest.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
It's like a whole big event in there. Like they're doing some like pull-up bar stuff, like backflip stuff. They got some like tricking stuff going on. I don't know, it's crazy. They had some gladiator battles with like they're wearing gear and shields. There's like some medieval like Viking stuff.
Oh, weird.
It's crazy. They got some crazy stuff over there. Yeah, those are always cool.
So in order to be a ref for these tournaments, I mean, do you have to be certified in anything? What does it take to actually qualify to be a ref for a tournament like this?
Yeah, we like pretty much like for reffing, like they had probably been like a judge before, you know, they've probably been judging, they've probably been hanging out with us, you know, so we kind of let them like kind of shadow, you know, like if they're interested, you know, like, I mean, really, if anybody's interested, we have like a thing on the website. They could even like apply to be a referee, and like you could put your zip code, and like if we're in that area, we could contact, you know, like we'll have them like shadow the person, like kind of learn, you know, and then kind of like referee, and then we'll kind of like watch them as well. Like usually when I'll go to like a show and they'll have some referees there, like, or people interested who want to be refereeing, you know, so like we'll let them referee, and then I'll kind of referee some, you know, maybe we'll go back and forth, and then they can kind of see me, and then they can ask me for advice, you know. So it's like there is a little training, you know, because it's kind of hard, you know, like to stop the energy, you know, like everything's going, and like to kind of stop the energy and be like, hey, like everybody relax, like we can't have anybody get hurt here, you know. So that's like really the thing. Like if a referee come like, oh, I had to DQ somebody, I'd be like, hell yeah, like good job, you know, like that shows people like, you know, if you go too hard, like you will get DQ'd, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little, you know, you do gotta learn aspect, you know. So, but yeah.
Have you
That's
guys
not
ever
my
had people come through to try and compete right off the street and think they could do this, or do you guys work with gyms to bring people in?
Yeah, really, like the gyms is a lot better, you know, because you trust them. You know, very rarely, like when people, because we see them register online, you know, we'll see all the data, you know, each gym that's coming, and sometimes people just put unknown or myself, you know, but it's like pretty rare, you know, like man, we had this one guy that would always come just on his own, but he was like pretty good though. But he's like in Kenya now. His name was Jordan. He'd just come on his own. That was crazy. But we haven't really had a problem with like just like randos kind of coming in, like starting trouble, that are really inexperienced. You know, like some people are really inexperienced, but we'll like guide them through it, you know, and they'll see.
Now, have you seen anybody go pro yet, or like really advance their career from competing in this, or is it still so new that it hasn't happened yet?
Like what? Like make a career after competing here?
Yes.
I could say like when we started doing this in San Diego, like maybe, I don't know, probably like 10 years ago. I'm trying to think of the year, maybe like 2010, 2009. A lot of the people like now who are like coaches, like in like that area, like they done this starting out, you know. So like they kind of came through this, and now they're coaching, you know. So like they know what it's about, you know. So I think it's been really good, like these past years, like growing the community up, you know, getting teams to an outlet to compete, you know, like because in like Muay Thai and stuff, like any like fight sports, you need to have like competitions, you know, like to motivate you, you know, to keep people training, and you're gonna have a competition coming up, you know. So it's like really essential, you know, to like have competitions, you know. So I think it's been really good, you know, like yeah, heck yeah. A lot of people won belts, amateur belts. One of our guys went to like, I think Kai, he went to like, what was it, Taiwan? He's fighting MMA in Taiwan. That guy's really awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like the Kai the Shadow. He's crazy to watch. But yeah, definitely
Now,
almost like everybody, like I wish I could show you like a link, like with all the people like who kind of like won belts, you know, and like went on and like doing good things still. So
now what are some of the shows you guys have coming up? Go ahead and shout that out.
Well, this weekend in SAG, I'll be there. That's going to be a really good one. Like 180. I think after that, I think Santa Cruz is in May 1st or April 29th and May 1st. There's a PMT going on and a full contact going on. After that, then we're going Ontario, May 7th. That's going to be like a point Muay Thai and full contact. So we've been doing some of these super shows where we do the point Muay Thai and then the full contact in the evening. So it's like,
now what happens with the full contact?
You know, which one?
What happens with the full contact? Because I've seen the point Muay Thai, but tell us a little more about what happens in the full contact.
Like just in general, or like the show we're doing?
Just in general about the full contact. Like, I mean, I know knockouts aren't a thing in the point. There's certain things that you're not allowed to do. Are you allowed to do those in full contact?
Yeah, so pretty much like full contact is like you're going into the ring, and like there's still some rules, like, you know, they can't, like in the state of California, you know, like you can't knee to the head, They could do elbows, but they have elbow pads on. And pretty much like, you know, at Point Muay Thai, if you get your belt, like if you're sparring, hey bro, you got a little knocked, like, hey, like, you know, we can't have you be getting hurt, you know, so we're gonna have to like stop this. But there, it's like you're going to hit the canvas, you know, so it's a little more like
Did we lose?
like, you know, if you have overthrow, no shin guards. Wait, I don't know. I think that's casino. I think you do have to have shin guards. Cloth shin guards, 10-ounce gloves, elbow pads, and that's pretty much it. So that would be full contact. You know, that's just where they could do elbows. It's a little more realistic. You know, like Muay Thai. You know, like they could utilize the elbows. You know, so that's like there's like some rules in Point Muay Thai, like we say, like you don't block knees with your arms. Okay, like that's just the thing. You don't bend over. You don't block knees with your arms. And part of that reason is because you will get elbowed. You know, so it's like now when they go to like full contact, like if they be doing that, they're gonna get elbowed. You know, so it's just a little more real. You know, because in Thailand, it's like you're just there with like 8-ounce gloves and that's it. Mouthpiece. So but it's a little more real. It's more intense and yeah, it's more exciting. It's fun to watch. The aspect of how the shows run is different, you know, because then you're just doing spectator tickets, you know, so the promoters got to really work to get spectators. So it's a different kind of like business structure.
Yeah.
You know, so, but it's still great, you know, to have all these going. They could go this one, they go this one. There's different tiers.
Very true. It's a lot of opportunity in Muay Thai.
Yeah. When before there is no opportunity, you know. So
yeah.
I just hope like these guys, like, you know, they do like travel to Thailand and go experience that, you know, and fight, maybe do some more bouts around the world, because that's what's really cool about Thailand. It's very international, you know, so you could pretty much go to like any country and like they'll have some type of like Muay Thai there, you know, like you go there, you're gonna make friends like immediately, you know, right when you go in, because they're gonna see, oh, this guy knows what's up. Oh, who are you? Where are you from? You know, so it's like pretty cool.
All right, Daniel, is there?
Topic.
It's all good. Is there anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out. I wish my brother was here, Ryan. You know, shout out to Johnny Davis. You know, he's the one that really like started this concept. You know, and like he was my coach also back in the day, and that's when I moved to San Diego. We kind of started out there, and that's what this kind of like took off from there. You know, but it's a lot of all the promoters we work with. You know, it's just a blessing doing this and growing the sport for everybody, you know. And I mean, now we're like pretty much it's almost like a full-time job, almost like doing all this for everybody, you know. So it's like really
it seems like it.
Doing this, and we got a nonprofit now going on, so it's called Nok Moy Foundation. You guys want to like check that one out? But we're pretty much I got like 4 gear packages on deck to go to India, Thailand, and I'm trying to think of another one. Oh, Philippines. So we're going to the Philippines too. So I've been raising up a lot of the promoters that we do business with going around here. To like a lot of these shows, they donate to the nonprofit, you know. So
right on.
Now we're getting gear, and we're getting gear from like local people here that we know. So it kind of like goes back to the community. So now we're going to ship it overseas and like change some people's lives, you know, like give them some gear they could train with, you know. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, but it's a community, man.
Awesome.
You know, shout out to you guys for, you know, appreciating us, and it's great, man. Really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you very much. Hey, all right, we're gonna let you go, but be safe, man, because driving and video chatting, that's not safe.
We'll keep it on the DL, all right?
Works for me.
But hey, look how beautiful.
That's all you gotta say.
Beautiful.
No, you're right. You're right. It's a nice drive.
It's like Napa.
All right.
Napa Valley right here.
Daniel,
right,
we will talk to you later. Thank you for joining us, man. Definitely. Later.
Soon, next time. All right, brother.
All right. Thank you again to Daniel for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's all we really got. We talked about UFC because that's happening tomorrow, and we expect to see Petr Yan beat some ass. Just saying. Just being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aljamain Sterling ain't going home with that belt. If he wins on another technicality, I might do something drastic, which means I will just be really upset for an hour and then I'll get over it.
Yeah, but also if that does happen, he's just gonna have to fight someone else, and I honestly don't.
And hopefully that person will beat him up.
I think
So
so.
there we go. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us here at the MMA Mainstream Podcast. Don't forget the UFC is tomorrow. Check it out. Point Muay Thai is coming up. You can check them out on their website. Let me pop that up again. Boom, right there. That's pointmuaythaica.com, and you can get all the info there. If you guys have any other questions, you can contact us through different means of social media. And until next time, later.